Testing, 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 testing. I know. You can't hear me. I get it. Testing. How's that? Can you hear me? Jeez. Holy heck. You can now? All right. I don't know what that was about, dude. I'm telling you right now. Do I sound okay? Let me make sure the audio. Stupid. I have more audio issues than anybody you've ever known. I have no idea why. It's all bullcrap, to be honest with you. I have no idea what happened. Thank you, Shay. I appreciate that. And let me see. Ginger, a member for 5 months. Good to see you. Thank you for being here for 5 months. Sherry Lynn, member for 3 months. Thank you. I do. I have the most problems with stuff. Snacks for Macho and Otis. Macho is sitting right here chewing on a bone. Doesn't leave my side. Let me see here. I'm sure I have more problems than she does. I don't know why. Things just start glitching. Samantha, I hope that your son is doing okay. And prayers up for you. It could be spirit box, yeah. And closer to you, Donna, thank you for becoming a YouTube member. I appreciate that very much. And little bit, 35 months. God, have I been here that long? I've been here that long, haven't I? A long time. Sharon says, spirits attacking your sound. Gotta stay away from those spirit boxes. Okay, so it's okay, Josh. I'm a new subscriber. I love how you tell it how it is, and you really care. Well, I appreciate you saying that. And yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about the case going on up in Nova Scotia. And the more that you look into it, and once again, there have been no suspects named. They do say that it's suspicious, but anytime children go missing, it's suspicious, you know. And I'm being silenced. Anytime children goes, but 2 children, you know, at one time is just one of those. It's so weird, you know, that not being able to. My thing is when kids like this, if they wandered off, and I believe that is what the is it the RMCP, I believe, saying that they believe happened. I started reading about all these like open mine shafts and things like that, and there just seems to be so many of those. You know, and you know, anything could happen. A 4 and a 6-year-old, you know, obviously you would think that the 6-year-old child would be taking the lead. RCMP, got it. But I don't feel like if they left on their own that they wouldn't be found within, when I say a reasonable amount of time. Like I hear a lot of these, you know, kids when they go missing and they're lost in the woods, it takes a day or two sometimes. I wouldn't imagine that they could walk far. And I hope that I have hope that they will be found, but it doesn't sound like the RCMP feels. I'm not going for any bit. I'm just telling you that's reading about it. Look, all possibilities would be on the table, and I'm not saying anything one way or the other, but you start looking at the property, the surrounding area, and it's just not safe. This is not a safe property. for children to play by themselves outside. Um, and I have nothing against people that maybe they don't have a lot of money, or they're um, I don't know, man. But I look at this property and I just go, what the hell is, dilapidated steps. And these are from the search. These photos are from the search. Let me show you here. And so what they're saying was that uh, mom and dad were possibly sleeping. I couldn't imagine that door swings open that easy, but I could be wrong. I don't even know is that a shed in the back? I mean, I'm not sure so it looks as though it's a little more enclosed than once thought. But let me read this to you here. Once again, most of this information is just speculation. Message boards and things like that are not fact, but let me just read this to you because I found it sort of interesting. A chicken coop. Okay, I gotcha. Lilly and Jack Sullivan parents believe the children opened the sliding doors and made their way out quietly without waking the parents. Lay down. He's being a baby. He's being a butt. There are a few factors that some have concerns with. Oh, excuse me. In the time frame of just 20 minutes, they were gone, yelling their names so much the stepfather's throat started to hurt. He started to search on land and in the car. There are a few factors that some have concerns with in this story, and it's reasonable to question everything when you have missing children, and I think that's fair. The yard is far more closed in than what we were led to believe. Young children, the age of 6 and 4, who have possible autism issues, and once again, that has not been confirmed. They have not been diagnosed with autism, and so we just don't know if that's the case. Is it possible? Of course. The yard is for the possible autism issues might have struggled to leave the area within the time frame, given not many sliding doors are silent. I don't know if that's true or not. They're actually quite annoying. I think so. I mean, I've opened some sliding glass doors before, and they weren't really that quiet. The stepdad is asking for a polygraph. Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, I hope he takes one. I hope he passes, and I hope they have nothing to do with anything that's going on here. If they were asleep, why is he so sure that they left through that door? Are we searching the right place? Dog picked up scent at the end of the drive. Well, we've heard that story before, that the dogs always seem to end up picking up the scent at the end of the driveway, which to me means if the scent ends there, typically it's because somebody got into a vehicle. Now, once again, I don't know that to be fact. I'm just saying that's. What are you doing? Come on, dude. It's ridiculous, buddy. Can you see him back there? He's very heavy. He's very, very heavy. He's so annoying sometimes. All right, but so okay, so listen up. What I'm saying is they say that the scent ends at the end of the road. Okay, fine. But if it ends at the end of the road, that would mean that they would have stopped walking, right? I mean, is that I think that's fair to assume. Is it not fair to assume? I don't know. I think it is. Um so there so no scent. That's a great point here as well. They also rode the school bus, so of course they're going to go down the driveway to the road. I believe so. And let me just scroll through some of these photos really quick. I mean, this is just treacherous terrain. I mean, this is the absolute sticks. Here, let me move my like. If you look at that. Is that a mobile home with no wheels? I don't know. A lot of fallen trees. Yeah. I mean, that's a fenced in yard. Okay. So I don't know. Is this the sliding fence that they're talking about going out of right here? Is this what's being discussed? RV was skirting. Okay. So what I'm pointing at right here, is this the sliding glass door or the sliding glass door, excuse me, that they got out of? Is this what they're talking about? That they would come out of this one right here. That's the sliding door. Okay. So this seems to all be pretty fenced in. Weird, huh? Well, they're very rickety steps. Yes, they certainly are. But can you hear that? All right, sorry about that. Yeah, Macho's going to search. So let's see that. I mean, I guess they could get out, but I mean, they would have to make a real effort. I guess yeah. Wow. He's been fed. He doesn't need to be fed anymore. Where's the? We change here. So this is the bus. This is their bus driver, who was talking about them a little bit. But what is it? What I mean, it's such dense wood. I just don't understand. If somebody could, if somebody that is from that area could explain something to me. Um, if, I mean, is there any chance that these children outwalked the search parties and the amount of time that they started looking for them within quote unquote 20 minutes? Is that even possible? And personally, I don't think it is. I don't think they did either. In 20 minutes, a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old. Now, I've had young kids before. I just cannot imagine how close to the next town. Well, that's a great question. Now they're saying that they're searching this lake that's over there. There's a lake. Let me bring up that map here. I don't know. I don't know if there is or not. Not logical. I don't think so either. Well, okay. So I brought this up yesterday, and I'll say it again. I think what's happening here is possibly that these children went missing far sooner than they were reported missing, which tends to happen sometimes. Say there was an accident. Say, hey, and I don't know for a fact that these people do drugs or anything like that. I want to put that out there. But sometimes it seems that when accidents happen, that if there are drugs or something like that involved, they're not going to want to get in trouble. So they, hide paraphernalia or things like that and try and clean up what's happening. But yeah, here's the timeline from what we know. You have 2 children that were in school Monday and Tuesday, possibly Tuesday. I don't know. Does anybody know for a fact if that's when they went if they were in school on Tuesday? Because Wednesday's a public holiday. Thursday, they're not in school. Friday, not in school. Okay. When did they say that? Teacher said yes. Okay. Teacher said they were there. Let me bring this up really quick. All right. So, stepfather Daniel Martel, who has been searching for the children daily, told local media that search efforts are now focused on nearby. When was this posted? This was posted yesterday. A nearby lake. Martel also addressed the children's mother departure, stating she did not leave voluntarily, but was forced off the property by his mother, which is a really odd thing to do, to force somebody off the property while her children are missing. I don't understand that. I don't understand that either. Martel also addressed children's mother. She relocated to stay with family in another part of the province and has since blocked him on social media. Once again, kind of a weird thing to do when you're looking for a child. The children have not been located yet, no. According to Martel, tensions flared between the families on the day of the disappearance, leading to a confrontation in the yard. Quote, my mother had to ask some people to leave the property because they were accusing me of being involved, he said. It's sad because I'm the only one still here fighting for them. He has agreed to take a polygraph test in the hope that it will help clear his name. So she's asked to leave by the mother because her family is accusing him of being involved somehow. Okay, so she doesn't have a choice. So if that's the case, then she, if that's the case, then she didn't have a choice. I mean, she would have to leave, but I find that just crazy that you would ask somebody to do that, to leave just like that. Wow. Give me a second here. All right, here we go. Share this tab instead. I just, okay, so the police don't think it's an abduction. The father or the stepfather says that it's possible that he thinks that they were possibly abducted. Mother thinks that they possibly got abducted as well. Is that the case? And they have an 18-month-old together. Wow. Oh, I mean, she would have no choice but to leave. I mean, but to ask some, yeah, exactly. I wouldn't leave. I mean, you'd probably have to throw me in jail. And I think that, but I don't even know how old this lady is. Does anybody know how old she is? That's a question. That is there anybody from that area in the chat watching? And once again, this is just speculation. And thank you, Ginger, for stating it as the last rumor. The last rumor I heard was that there were multiple black SUVs showed up on the property and were searching under the home. Wow. Let me do something really quick here. Give me a. Yes, Ellie said they were going to research. It's interesting, isn't it? It is interesting. I'll tell you that. Mom is on a reservation now, maybe protecting. Hope Float says, Mom is on a reservation now, in my opinion, maybe to protect her. Well, she has that baby, I believe. RCMP can go on tribal land. Can RCMP go on reserves? Yes, the RMC has no, that's not the question. Can so it says the Royal Canadian Mounted Police can go on Indigenous reserves, also referred to as reservations in Canada. They are contracted to provide policing services to many First Nations and Inuit communities through community. I don't know what that word is. Okay, so she is not on the reservation. They don't know where she is. I don't know. I don't know if that's true. But they can, but I'm telling you, I just read that they absolutely can go on tribal land. I'm going to throw, if there's a local or somebody that wants to call in, I'm going to throw this in the chat, this number. Hopefully it works. If not, we'll abandon it quick. That's the call-in number. If somebody, I'm kind of wondering what the feel is around the locals. Notice a hole in the ground, undercover on the right part of the screen. Let me see. What is that? I do see that, but how do I zoom in here? Let me zoom in on this. I don't even know what the hell that is. Well, that's as far as I can go. I don't know. I mean, I just brought up I don't know. It could be a well. It's just a mess. That's the problem. It's such a mess. Why is it such a mess? Why would you let kids play outside like that by themselves? I have no idea. I think it's crazy. I mean, these folks could very well have nothing to do with what's happening, other than the fact that they could have possibly been neglectful. I don't know. I would, if the kids are playing by themselves outside, it's just it's not a good thing. You know how many times kids are up running around and you don't want to get up with those kids and deal with them? I mean, it happens daily. I mean, it's normal for parents. Like, yeah, God, I don't want to get up, but you have to get up anyway. I mean, if they were letting kids play outside like this, yeah, I don't know if it feels, all missing children cases when kids go missing and nobody knows anything and they think that, hey, they wandered off or somebody came over here and snatched the children. All cases sound similar when it comes to that, you know. I think I missed a phone call, but let me, okay, here we go. Let's see. Caller, can you hear me?
Hi, how you doing?
Good. Where are you calling from? Your name?
My name is, we're going to say it's Sue.
Fine.
And I'm from that area in Nova Scotia. I lived there for 15 years and I've snowmobiled. That's a big snowmobile territory out there. And the woods are very dense, and the drug situation in that particular area in Nova Scotia is just crazy.
So it's well known that it's a drug area.
Oh yeah. Stellarton, Pictou County. There's a huge problem with cocaine, fentanyl, meth, alcohol, you name it. Now, I want to mention about the day that they supposedly had this party. That was Check Day in Nova Scotia. And Check Day is Welfare Day in Nova Scotia. Everybody gets their checks at the end of the month.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
So if you're on welfare and you have 3 children, you're getting a nice hunk of money, and that's party day.
And yeah, it's kind of like here. Yeah, the first of the month. I mean, you know, when the first comes around, if you're on government assistance, that's the day that the streets where I'm from, become more active.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. And so I mean, have you heard the rumblings of a party? I mean, I've heard some of it. Is there any truth to it? I mean, or is that just a rumor right now?
I think right now it's just a rumor, but I will tell you that I know the grandmother of these children.
Oh, okay.
And I've worked with her for years. She's a really good person. The mother in question is an amazing person. She's a good woman. She's a hard worker. Um, I can't say either way, but this whole area is really sketchy. Just a really sketchy area. It's out back. It's on the back 40. Like you have to come out to hunt.
Oh, okay. I see. I see. And so you're
And
not talking about the people that live. You're not talking about the grandmother that lives on the property. You're talking about the mother of
the mother.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So, but you don't know the
Yeah,
people
not the,
that live there.
I don't know the people that live there. I know the area. Like I said, it's a big snowmobile area, and there are trails back in those woods. Like the woods are really dense, but there are trails. There's ATV trails. There's snowmobile trails.
Okay.
There, I don't know. I'm trying to stay neutral.
Sure.
But somebody for two children, I can see her, packing up her little backpack because they're not being paid attention to and saying, "Let's go on an adventure." And once you get 20 minutes or 30 minutes into those woods and you get turned around, you're not going to know which way. A 6-year-old is not going to know which way to go.
No, adults
and
get
like I said,
lost in woods like that.
The woods are thick, like they're very thick, but they're snowmobiled, they're ATV'd, they're highly traveled.
So
by the locals.
So do you think that it's possible that the young girl Lilly could have said to her brother, "Let's go on an adventure," and take her backpack and boots and
Yeah, and they could have been, because what I think the problem here is neglect. I think they were probably too strung out, too hungover to get up with their kids, and they just figured they'd let their kids run around, and the kids will never leave the yard. Well, they did leave the yard.
Yeah, I mean, you can see clearly from the photos that from the search that there are holes in the fences. I mean, it seemed like it's pretty well, but that would be more for like toddlers, like toddlers could wander around that fence area and probably.
Yeah, a 6-year-old can open the front door and walk out.
Oh yeah, 6-year-olds can almost drive cars. I mean, I'm kidding, but
yeah, pretty much.
yeah, they're.
And
yeah.
if they did get in the woods, I think that they were left unsupervised for maybe longer than they said. And when they got up, they were long gone.
But the thing is, don't you think that there would have been some hint, some trail, some just any sign that they were actually in the woods at all? I mean, you have these professional searchers that are struggling to make it through the woods in every direction.
Well, there's a lot of missing kids in this area. It could be a crime of opportunity. They could have maybe gone to the road. Somebody could have driven past them. But there's something to do with how long they were left unsupervised.
Well, that's the thing. I think that's personally what I think. I personally think I don't think that they went missing when they were reported. Now, this is just pure speculation on my part, and it's not to be taken as fact.
Yeah, mine too. I have no evidence, no proof that this is what happened.
Right.
But like you said, some parents aren't really quick to get up with their kids, and maybe they were in and out of sleep, but I think they were asleep for a lot longer.
Yeah, and somebody said earlier when I was talking about this, and I was reading about the open minds, are there a lot of those out
Oh,
there?
there's old. Oh yeah, and there's there's old wells. There's lots of waterways in the area. Lots of brooks, ponds, lakes.
Yeah, and so you go out. So you're a local to the area. Um, I just read about a kid the other day, it was like about 7 or 8 days ago, that went missing up around those parts. And she was found the next day in the woods after a tumultuous night. She was okay.
Absolutely.
That's
And to
that's my,
answer somebody's question in the chat, there are bears, there are bobcats, there's coyotes. Uh, it's hard to say at this point what's happened. We have excellent ground because we are such a heavily forested area. We have excellent ground search and rescue. Excellent. Um, a lot of our culture is hunting, fishing, bushcraft, being in the woods, um, and yeah, it's really hard to say at this point. Like I said, I'm trying to stay neutral.
have you spoken
But
with the grandmother?
no, I haven't spoken with her. Like I said, I worked with her for years, and the grandmother is a really good person.
Yeah, yeah. And you have you met her daughter, the mother of these two, Lily and
No, I've met her other children, but I haven't met the daughter.
Yeah. Yeah, and now there's rumors saying that the cops are back out there searching the property and stuff, and um, who knows what's true. But I mean, is it common for properties to look like that in the backwoods there?
In the back 40, yeah, you're going to see some things that will just make your jaw drop.
Wow, because it doesn't look like a safe
But
place for kids.
it doesn't look like any kind of place I'd even let my dog in.
Well, I might let my dog, but not yours.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't let my dog live there. But yeah, you'll see properties like this. Nova Scotia is a very poor province. It's a lot of seasonal workers, fishing, farming. The mill in Stellarton and around Pictou County is probably the biggest employer in the area.
Mm.
And the nearest town is Stellarton, New Glasgow. They're not very big towns.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, it does. It kind of reminds me of sort of our Appalachian trail, that we have here in the States, where it's not really a heavily traveled area by most people. It's just kind of off the beaten path, and not it's a good place for people to kind of hide and do whatever they want out there. I'm not saying that that's what's happening in this situation. These people may be fine people for all I know, but what I do know is that with their story, the way that they're telling it, is that, I mean, if you don't get up with your kids, um and their kids are adventurous, they're rambunctious, they crave to be outdoors, um you should be in trouble for not getting up and taking care of your kids. It's a neglectful thing. If they, like you said, that this is a drug area, if that is the case, if they have been on drugs or something, they're not going to want to admit that, obviously. And because that would give them, I'm sure in Canada, it would be against the law for them to neglect their children while being
Oh,
on drugs and
absolutely.
alcohol.
Absolutely.
And so I don't know. I mean, what's your best theory, and then we'll move on.
When I think about a stranger abduction, I just think about the amount of traffic that would be in that area would be minimal.
Correct,
right? So
but there was a
I'm
party,
gonna
right?
say that there was what?
There was a party, though.
I believe there was a party. And I'm going with either neglect or nefarious.
Yeah.
I want to think that maybe they just wandered. I don't want to think that somebody would be driving down the road early in the morning on a Saturday and pick up two little kids.
Yeah, but I mean,
That's
a possibility too. Somebody driving down the road, some weirdo driving down the road.
Absolutely, and there's lots of them. You just never know.
Oh, they're everywhere. I mean, the registered ones and the unregistered ones. They're all over the place. I appreciate your call, Susie, and thank you. And call back in a day or so if you're still watching, and let us know what is the mood around there, really quick. I mean, what do I'm sure everybody's talking
solemn,
about it.
Very, very kind of solemn, very solemn.
Yeah, I bet. Are people, especially since it's been scaled back now?
Yeah, it's very sad. It's just a very sad mood.
Yeah, I can understand that. Well, I appreciate your call, Susie, and thank you so much.
No problem. You have a great day, Josh.
You too. Bye-bye. Very kind caller. When I got callers on the line, people don't say mean things in the chat. Like they're going out of their way to speak with us, and I think that is a very nice thing. So please be nice to people that call in. If you called in, I wouldn't let somebody trash you. Phone line, they're just, it's stupid. I thought it was a great call too. It really was. It's great. And like I said, I appreciate the calls. If there's anybody else around that area, the number to call in is 707-677-8264. And but no, I don't. I understand she's local. She can't say much. I'm not asking anybody to cast, aspersions on anybody or say, oh yeah, they're definitely guilty or not guilty. Fact of the matter is nobody knows at this moment. Any difference of opinion is just hate for snowflakes these days. It's not a difference of opinion when you're saying somebody's like dumb and things that. So, well, then just go. You can just leave. It's really not that big of a deal. I mean, if you want to call in, feel free. You got more information? Go ahead. Yeah, dude, take a lap. That I thought that's important. Check day, and I don't know. So it's basically the same thing as here on the first of the month when people get their money. She was a very nice lady. Took time out of her day. Took time out of her day to call the show. All right, once again, so we got 707 677 8264. Let's see. Thank you, caller, for calling in. I would never, with all that hate out there, and there's a lot of it too. A lot of people are, they just and Dee Marie becoming a member. Thank you so much. It's very kind of you. Tori Banks, Noel in the house, number 359. You're early. I am today. I'm a little early today, but that's a good thing. I've been trying to do a little earlier lives here on the lab. I haven't been live on the lab in quite some time. And so let's let me just make sure I'm not going to miss any calls here. Hope floats. Thank you again. And we'll go back to and hmm. Well, I'm bringing something up really quick. I want to show you the photos of the children as well, because that's important. So there you are. There's Lilly and Jack missing now, I believe 8 days missing. And children still not found. And this was on May 3rd. Jack, 4-year-old male, Lilly, 6-year-old female. Both children are nonverbal. I don't know if that's true or not. I've heard different things. Both children are nonverbal. It was believed initially that they wandered into the woods, but with still no location or traces them being found. We're starting to think it may possibly be an abduction, which it very well could be. The police have yet to put out an Amber Alert, and that's very, very interesting that there is no Amber Alert put out by the Canadian authorities. The police have yet to put out an Amber Alert. We're asking all public to share and boost this post out as much as possible. Please help find my niece and nephew. It's just a terrible situation, man. Here's I'm gonna bring this up here because I think this is important. Multiple stories are circulating about the disappearance of Lilly and Jack Sullivan, but none have been officially confirmed. It's crucial to stay grounded in verified information and avoid being swept up in the speculation. Now, here's the thing: the speculation. This is part of it. This is what happens. People speculate. People's minds, you know, wander because it's just such an odd thing. You know, it's not a normal. It's not a normal. It's just not normal for kids to go missing like this under any circumstances. Um, some of them stories circulating that many of you have been discussing. Unconfirmed reports from local sources suggest an increased police presence at the property, including additional vehicles, the removal and search of the porch, and officers examining both inside and beneath the home. While not officially verified, such investigative measures are standard in cases like this, as authorities work tirelessly to follow every lead possible. So what they're saying is, yeah, it's completely possible that is going on, because that is standard, and I wouldn't be surprised if they meticulously take that house apart piece by piece. I remember when they were looking for Harmony Montgomery. I mean, they took doorknobs, they took refrigerators, they took pieces of carpet, they took steps, they took all kinds of things out of this house for examination. You can be sure that they are taking apart and collecting any sort of, if they find anything suspicious in that house, that they'll be looking for blood, they'll be looking for anything that couldn't be explained away. Now, you would say, well, Josh, these children live in the house and people are going to bleed and their DNA could end up being there no matter what. They would be looking for an unusual amount, something suspicious. That's what they would be looking for. And without the evidence of that, then who knows? but that's what they would be looking for, stuff like that. And I'm sure that some vehicles will probably be impounded. Um, Give me a second. Let's see. Susie says could be looking for the underside flooring for bodily fluid soaked through in the surface that was cleaned. Yes, I mean, and they have these things now where you can see if bleach was used on a certain area. Mr. E, good to see you. How are you, my friend? Um, with all of the debris around the house, it is hard to know if anything is out of place. Yeah, I'm more so talking about like in the rooms and on the beds and things like that. That's kind of what I mean. Stupid. Macho loves to bark. Okay, let's keep going here. It is believed the children's mother has been advised not to speak to the media and is currently keeping a low profile. Though not officially confirmed, it's likely that both parents were advised to refrain from public commentary during the ongoing investigation. We know why that would be, because people's statements and stuff get taken out of context or they're fodder for the fire. But nothing should stop them from pleading for the safe return of the children if they believe that there was an abduction or if that they wandered off. But I'm telling you, it's been 8 days. I don't know. I mean, that's a great question, but I don't know. A widely shared message claims the neighbor reported a high volume of visitors to the property in the days before the children disappeared, alleging they were unaware children even lived there and suspected the house was used for drug activity. However, this message comes from an anonymous and unverified source, and there's no evidence it came from a legitimate neighbor. In sensitive cases like this, it's vital to distinguish between rumors and verified facts to ensure the integrity of the investigation and respect for those involved. The important thing is that we remain focused on finding these children and keep their case active. So this is obviously this is the property here. Oh my god! I mean, there's just nothing. I mean, look at this is the closest neighbor. Holy crap! Goodness, this gives you even a better view. I don't see any waterways though, but I'm not a professional map reader, so I don't know. It is vast. It is it's things don't seem to have a spot, if you know what I mean. I agree with that. I think that would make investigating more difficult. I think so. It I will say this. I'm trying not to draw similarities between cases, but yes, if you look at 110 Ben Hill Road from an overhead view, it looks similarly isolated to a place like this. It just so happens that a lot of children that go missing from very isolated spots because they could either walk away, run away, but for somebody to just take the children, you know, it is hard not to. I'm really trying not to take it there. But if you just look at the isolation issue itself, I mean, if you're saying that the scent ends at that road right there, well, that's interesting. Shelly says, I'm so lost for words having family in Nova Scotia. This is not a normal thing. Sam, I am not the best with maps. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is hard not to see the similarities. Although, we don't know what happened in the Wells case either, but especially like in the Wells case and this case, I will tell you this. I don't believe everybody's telling everything that they know. And I feel that in so many of these cases, I feel like people are not being completely honest. And if the call to the authorities is anything but the 20 minutes that they say, if it went on for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, that puts law enforcement so far behind that it feels like they would never catch up, And a lot of the times that's what happens, is that these crime or whatever happened is reported far after it happened. Let me see.
In other news today,
We'll listen to that. Thank you, Susan, for putting that up. We'll check this out.
the search continues this morning for two missing children in rural Nova Scotia. Crews have been combing through the woods around Pictou County since Friday, when police believe they wandered away from their home. Brett Ruskin is live in Halifax. He's picking up the story for us this morning. Where do things stand today, Brett, with the search efforts?
Good morning, Heather. Yes, search efforts are continuing this morning for these two missing children here in Nova Scotia. So we have 6-year-old Lilly Sullivan and 4-year-old Jack Sullivan. They went missing on Friday morning. Now, we heard from the children's stepfather recently. Here's what he had to say about this situation.
The last few days have been very stressful. I mean, ever since the Friday morning, when we noticed that the children were gone. Immediately jumped in the vehicle, surveyed all the areas, many dirt roads, many culverts as I could, and waited for the police to get there.
So again, the search began with family members and has now expanded to dozens of search and rescue volunteers. About 160 people were on the ground yesterday. There were dogs brought in to try to catch a scent of these two children. There were 8 drone units in the skies searching, as well as a couple of helicopters as well, each one of them equipped with infrared sensors and cameras looking for these children. Now, we heard from police talking about some of the challenging conditions and logistical issues that they are running.
You say what? A bad echo? Hold on. Hold on.
Running into with this situation, with the kind of the situation.
Is that any better?
On the ground. Here's what police had to say about this search.
With the wet weather, it makes things a little more complicated for our searchers. Given they're in the woods, it's wet, things slip.
It's still there. God, I hate StreamYard. I hate StreamYard so much. God. It's the worst. Carla Barnes, thank you so much for the support for this channel. I appreciate it. And Whistle, good to see you as always. One of my favorites out there. We're going to bring you back out of retirement. We got to do it. It's not bad. Okay, well.
Slippery footing's not the greatest. It's the water's it's not the best, but they're still trudging through and they're still working hard at doing the job they have to do.
Again, we know that 6-year-old Lilly Sullivan and 4-year-old Jack Sullivan went missing on Friday morning.
428 growers chat judging a book by its cover. Well, like somebody said the other day, that's the reason books have covers. But I mean, what do you want to do? I mean, that's just life. Do you want everybody just to not feel how they feel, take their gut instincts and just throw it out the window? And, you know, I mean, people are allowed to feel how they feel. Now, I mean, if anybody's out there just accusing them of flat out murder and things like that, that there's no evidence that happened. We don't know what happened. We just don't know. We don't know what happened. Okay. But people are going to have their opinions. It's just how everything is.
That is when this search began and when the family reported them missing. And again, the search has been ongoing since that time. Heather.
Brett, I'm sure people following the story closely, those who are close at hand in terms of proximity, what can people do if they're trying and hoping to help?
Yeah, folks might think that, hey,
and you're allowed to have your opinion too. 428. Honestly, you really are.
I live nearby. I could hop in the car and go and search through the woods. I can help out as well, but that's not necessarily what officials want. They say this is a very coordinated, very organized search. They know where each one of the crews are. They know the areas that have been searched already and the areas that they are now focusing on. So advising residents to not just drive out and try to help out with the search on their own in the woods. One thing that people can help with is searching their own properties, looking in ditches, culverts, sheds, or any other possible hiding area that these kids, these children may have used for shelter. That is how people can help. And again, we know that the temperature has dropped.
You know, and honestly, no, look, I've been as judgmental of people, especially from the outside, but this is so early into the investigation. And they're not really sharing a lot with anybody. But it doesn't look good. I mean, when two children go missing like this, especially leading up to the disappearance, them being out of school and stuff.
Up to a little bit overnight, but we haven't seen below zero temperatures. So again, these search efforts are continuing now, beginning their fourth day of searching. Heather.
Brett, that's important information. Thank you so very much. Brett, going to be keeping us right up to date on the.
Yeah, I'm done playing this anyway. I don't know. I mean, the stepfather is the one that is doing most of the talking, and why that is, I couldn't tell you. Maybe he really is innocent, has nothing to hide, or I don't know. If they were really asleep, though, that's a bad sign. Haven't heard. I'm starting to think that that's the case as well, but I hope that I'm completely wrong. Hopefully we're wrong about everything, and hopefully they're found safe very soon. Give me a second here. It's just such a treacherous property. I mean, I just can't imagine kids just walking out there. I mean, they could have wandered off. I don't know. I don't think so, but Josh, the boyfriend always gets a bad deal, in my opinion. It's sometimes the mom. Why has she done a runner? At least check her out. Give the boyfriend a break. I'm not accusing the boyfriend of anything. Not a thing. I don't know. I don't know enough to accuse anybody of anything. But let's see. Yeah, grandma's doing good. She's doing good. I'm probably gonna wrap this up here. And if you haven't, head over to Lab After Dark. We'll be over there tonight, and who knows what we'll discuss. And we'll definitely keep an eye on this case. It's definitely definitely odd. I don't know where the mom is, to be honest with you. I have no clue. No clue. What is this here? Karina Meyer says, I am accusing the mom and the dad. I don't think that you're the only one. I don't think you're the only one that would be accusing them. Typically, most of the time, but I look at Brandy and Tyler and the Michael Vaughn case, and they got accused like crazy. Come to find out, there's 4 suspects with pending indictments coming. So, but I will definitely keep watching out. That would be like 8 o'clock. It is very bizarre. Hey, at least the pics look like current photo for people to look out for. Yeah. And I'm not going to get in the back and forth with anybody about this kind of stuff. It's just, it's just a terrible situation. Hopefully it gets resolved soon. I don't think it's judgmental or accusatory, but necessary to wonder how 2 adults lose 2 children at home. I don't disagree either. People are allowed to have their opinions. I know nothing about Eastern Canada. I'm from Saskatchewan, and things are different. Six-year-olds are capable of doing a lot. I don't disagree with that either. Anyway, all right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it, and we will definitely keep talking about this case. Hopefully it ends soon. Hopefully there's a fantastic ending. I fear that it's not going to be, but I don't want to think that way, but it's just statistic wise, who knows? I hope that these kids are found safe, and hopefully we can keep it civil here. Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it. After Dark tonight. What?